Welcome to the Modern Pirate Podcast. My name is Kent Mulligan and today's guest is Mervyn Hi. Mervyn is the owner of the Panic Room Barbershop in Singapore. He's a barber by trade, an entrepreneur and a fitness enthusiast. I really enjoyed getting some insight and understanding about how Mervyn built Southeast Asia's leading barbershop and retail outlet. I hope you enjoy this chat. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our good friends at Chaga Health. Chaga Health is an organic, wild harvested chaga mushroom elixir. These chaga mushrooms are harvested in the pristine Nordic forests of Estonia and blended with sea buckthorn extract and vitamin C to create a powerful immune boosting elixir. I use this product daily to keep my immunity high and to speed up my recovery. I highly recommend you check out this product and optimize your health and immune system also. Podcast listeners today get a 10% discount off your entire order over at chagahealth.com.au. That's Chaga, C-H-A-G-A health.com.au. Enter the code ModernPirate10 at checkout to receive your discount. This episode is also brought to you by our company, Modern Pirate. Modern Pirate is an Australian-made men's grooming company that is 100% carbon neutral. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, and produce a large range of men's grooming products. We have naturally enhanced styling pomades and clays, shampoo, conditioner, and our Black Pearl body wash. We also have our range of natural soaps that include charcoal, Australian red clay, bentonite clay, and my favourite, the Dead Sea mud. Head over to the website modernpirate.com.au and enter the code MP20 at checkout for a 20% discount off your entire order. Good morning, Mervyn. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Ken. I'm good. Enjoying my off day so far.
Oh, you got the day off today. That's great.
Yeah.
Nice. So just for the listeners, your name's Mervyn Hi. You're the owner of the Panic Room in Singapore. And that's where we're chatting from now. You're in Singapore, I'm in Melbourne. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you too. We're about, two hours apart, yeah?
Yeah, 2 hours. It's not so bad. It's good. So today, you got a day off work today, you said?
Yeah, today and tomorrow. It's rare to get consecutive off days. So one of my colleagues does the scheduling for me.
Okay, great.
Usually it's on a weekday, but sometimes I get a weekend off also.
Yeah, that's nice for a change. How's business? How's the Panic Room going with the current COVID situation? We'll back up in a little bit and have it explain to the listeners what the Panic Room is. But yeah, how's business going at the moment?
Okay, so I think there was a slight lockdown situation in from March to about say May. But thankfully during that period of time, barbershops could still operate. So customers were still coming in with all the precautionary measures. But I think what hit us more would be more of the retail sales. It's been not that great generally.
Yeah.
But also because we have a e-commerce platform, so at least people still have the choice to make certain purchases. They don't have to come down to the store to make their sale happen, you know.
Unfortunately, you can't get a haircut on the internet.
Yeah. And I think for about a month or so, there were no beard trimming services and hot towel shaving. Basically, all services had to have the mask on.
Yeah, sure. We had similar restrictions here. I mean, in the early stages, barbershops were deemed essential and they could be open. I'm not aware of any restrictions around beard trimming and restricting services though. So that's interesting. So your business is the Panic Room Barbershop in Singapore. It would be the leading barbershop in Southeast Asia. Definitely one of the coolest barbershops I've been into in my global travels, and I've been into plenty of barbershops.
Thank you.
How long have you guys been going now?
We started with the brick and mortar like store in September 2013. So it's coming to 7 years now. And a couple of years before we opened up a place, we were selling it online. I
Okay.
think like when I first reached out to you, I didn't have a proper shop yet. I was still selling some of the pomades online, and I was still freelancing as a barber, doing haircuts at certain events and flea markets.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And how
coming 7 years.
and how long had you been barbering prior to that time, prior to opening the panic room?
Probably about slightly over 3 years, because I started freelancing at a salon around 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how I picked it up was so like all the guys here in Singapore need to go through national service, like conscription army. So I enlisted in about 2007,
Yeah.
and that's where I started cutting my own hair, cutting hair for a couple of my campmates, and eventually all of my campmates. Yeah, so that was like about 2 years of self-learning experience on what cutting hair is about. I wouldn't call it barbering then, but it was just a lot of clipper work, a lot of scissors work, a lot of different strokes of scissors work, and you learning how to use the razor blade. I don't think I was even holding it properly back then. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And was there much of a barber scene in Singapore at the time? Like when that was happening and you started developing this interest, how did the barber scene look in Singapore? Was it, did you have any of these modern style barbershops, or was it much more traditional and older style stores?
Okay, so for like in Singapore it's a bit different. So or rather in like Southeast Asia, back then, like I would say the modern barbering scene maybe started in 2011, 2012. But before that, like the barbers charged say about $10 for a haircut. So it was like real quick. Uh they didn't focus so much on the fit. It was like a quick cut kind of thing. Like they spent about 15 to 20 minutes per haircut. So like the focus won't be either on the fade or the scissors work, it's like an overall kind of a style,
You get what?
it's definitely not going to be like a skin fade kind of situation back then.
Sure.
Yeah, and the next level of some of the barbers go as cheap as like $7, for example.
Okay.
Because like people in the army, they just need a quick cut, so the sides just need to be sort of faded. We call it slope. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like a super tight fade, but somehow you can see it's going from short to long. It's allowed by the uniform groups.
Okay.
And
Did you have to have,
and after which
sorry, did you have to have a certain type of haircut when you're in the army?
so I think like over here, I'm not sure is it a worldwide thing, but at least the rule is the fringe doesn't touch the eyebrows. The sides need to be not too long. I think like after the haircut it should be at least like a number 2, so that's about 6 millimeter. Just basically short at the sides and back, and nothing touching the eyebrows. All facial hair belongs to the government, so you're not allowed to keep it at all.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean,
anyway, back to like the barber prices, right? The next tier will be like the salons already. So there wasn't any modern barbershops charging, say, about $30 per haircut then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you guys one of the first of those, the wave of modern barbershops? There's quite a few in Singapore now. But were you one of the first ones to open?
One of the first few. I think the first ever to open would be, like the new wave of barbershops would be Hounds of the Baskervilles. I think you've been there before, right?
Is it Ferez?
Furrows, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right. They even got their own brand of pomades.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing them around that time as well. And you took me in there when I came to visit, and that was fun.
Yes, yes,
They were
yes.
cool guys.
Yeah, they're all cool.
Yeah.
Most of them, like the boys that used to be in the shop there, they most of them are still barbers,
Okay.
cutting hair at different places now.
Yeah. And what was the concept for the panic room's quite unique. I don't think I've seen anywhere like it, where I've traveled to and looked at barbershops. You've got, obviously you've got your barbershop, but you've got this fantastic retail space with a huge range of products from all over the world. And, now you've got the record store, and just a really cool environment there with the music and the merch. And on top of that, it's you've also got a distribution center set up where you're bringing in brands from around the world, select brands, and wholesaling those throughout Singapore as well. So was that concept something that you had right from the start, or did you just start off as a barber and then these other opportunities came along and it evolved?
Yeah, so when I started cutting hair, I think I was a bit short-sighted, I would say. So I was just focusing on haircuts. And then after which I realized if I put in like 10 hours of time to cut hair, I make 10 hours worth of money. Then I started selling products in the salon, because in salon, like my first boss then, she would teach us a lot of different like sales tactic and stuff. She was say like, oh, if you don't try to sell the product, it won't move at all. So like one of the ways was like to get the customers from outside to come in. So once they step in, there's a 50% chance they'll buy something. So I believe like everyone coming into the salon itself that set the food in there, they would have that 50% chance of purchasing something.
Sure.
But what entices them to make that move? It has to be something more than that. Yeah. So when I was cutting hair back then, I was like, okay, so like this product doesn't work that well for, say, like a slick back. So that's when I started to research more, and I think the first few brands we brought in were like Layrite and Suavecito, because I think back in 2010, 2011, those were like popular water soluble
Sure.
pomade brands. Yeah. So I started bringing them in, and we had we built like a website that started selling them. So I realized products pretty much move on their own. You
Yeah.
don't even need to be cutting hair for a certain person, just for them to buy something. So from there, we grew from 2 brands to much more, and we also started selling other things because we figured we could. Why not?
Sure. Yeah, it's a great concept. And when I remember when we first connected and I looked at your website and researched the business, and obviously, you had a big following on social media and you were the place, the barbershop that everybody in Southeast Asia were referencing or looking at. And I thought it was really interesting how you'd created this model with in a really cool store, but then having the retail, the direct consumer retail and the e-commerce platform as well, and then distribution from there. So yeah, I was pretty excited when we started chatting and you were interested in the brand. That was definitely
Yeah,
gave my business a really good nudge, and being involved with you guys has given me a lot of credibility in those early days as well. So yeah, it was pretty exciting.
yeah. I wasn't expecting much of a reply from you, to be honest, initially. Yeah, but I'm glad everything turned out well, very organic. I think that's a bit of our business also. Like so far, all the results have been quite organic. Like we don't force certain ways or things.
Mm.
Just let pretty much the things move on its own, but nudge it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well. Like I don't have a pushy approach with what I'm doing at all, and sometimes I think maybe that's at the detriment of my sales in the business. But it's the approach that I prefer as well, is just developing the relationships, and if you can reciprocate and work well with somebody, then it just seems to work so much better, and it's just enjoyable. It's a way that I want to do business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And so early on, when you guys got started, who were you looking to in the industry for inspiration? Were there particular people that you would be looking at and referencing? I know you had some interaction and you got a great friendship with Miguel from the Nomad Barber. It was about that time he was doing really well, and it was really popular as well. And you guys spent some time together, so that would have been an interesting experience as well.
Okay, so when back in the day when like I realized what I'm doing is more like barbering related, I decided to do more research on it. So I figured I needed to be really good at like the men's haircuts. Like generally I had to be good at blow drying, scissors work. Most people think like barbers are only good with clipper work, but that's not true also.
Mm.
I needed to be good at my shaves, and also beard trims, like learn how to blow dry the beard, do up the different shapes and all. But apart from that, because when you tell someone you're a barber in Singapore, they'll be thinking like this guy probably isn't serious. Like they'll be thinking of like the the barbers the traditional barbers that they usually see.
Okay.
And then they realize like, oh, like we are charging pretty much same as what the salons here are charging. So they'll think like what's so special about it. So I decided to, because I was dealing with a lot of like mohawks and shaven sides back then. So I decided to add on learning hair tattoos, like shaving the patterns at the side. So one of my inspirations back then was this guy in US who did a lot of hair tattoos. He used to be an this educator. Yeah, but we lost touch already because he's very, very artistic. So he's a bit detached from the real world.
Okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Types, yeah.
I think he didn't like people talking about other hair tattoo artists.
Mm.
Yeah. So he deleted almost everyone that talked about other like hair tattoo artists in general.
Okay.
Like he wants to be the one. Yeah. And so what that was about 2010. So I connected with Miguel in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in between there weren't like too many iconic inspirations for me. Yeah, because that guy I followed, he was really, really good at what he does. I think he also did like the Last Supper portrait on someone's head.
Wow,
Yeah, so that's how good he is.
that's insane.
I'll give you his name later.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be keen to check it out.
Yeah, and I was just online looking at different stuff. YouTube was still like it didn't have too many good tutorials back then.
Okay.
Yeah, so fast forward to 2012, I knew like, or rather end of 2012, just before Miguel started his Nomad Barber tour. I saw like Singapore was one of the countries that he might be coming to. So I dropped him an email uh, saying like, okay, if you're ever in Singapore, like just let me know. I'll just like bring you around and stuff. And I thought what he was doing was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I got a reply. So he said, yeah, he's probably coming to Singapore, and nearer the date, we reconnected, and panic room was already set up. So he said he wants to come and like take a look.
Yeah.
Because back then, it was like we really literally just started the shop. So
And was that shop
for
in
like
Geylang also? Was that was the,
it was before Geylang. It was somewhere in like Chinatown area.
yeah, okay.
Wasn't that big. Like it was just like a 4-seater. Right now we've got about eight to nine chairs
Yeah.
and a huge retail space. Back then the retail space, everything was like less than half of what we have now.
Okay.
Yeah. So after he came to Singapore, everything was just very like organic also. Like I was just being myself, he was just being himself. And yeah, it's been a good 7 years of friendship now, or
Wow.
more. Hopefully more.
That's great.
Yeah. Did a travel with him also. Was good.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. And one thing with you guys, you kind of tick all the boxes in lots of ways. Like you've got this great space, which you said now you've got a bigger space in Geylang, which is the red light district area in Singapore. My favorite area to visit when I'm there.
Yeah, same.
Um, so, was that the evolution of that shop is, how have you stayed relevant with the changes in the industry? Like there's been more shops opening. You've evolved your business over the years. And one thing I noticed that you're very progressive with your social media and the digital marketing side of the business. That's something that I always look to you guys as inspiration and leaders in that part of your business as well. Is that something that you guys have really focused on, or has that just been part of the natural evolution as well?
I think more forward thinking at that point of time.
Mm-hmm.
Dabbling into the online and digital stuff. But right now, like everyone's doing it.
Yes.
Like the term SEO used to be so foreign back then, but now like everyone's saying like, oh, I spend like X amount on my SEO budget for this month, this quarter, blah blah blah.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think I'm not the strategist, but yeah, there's good strategy for like growing the brand and bringing the brand forward.
Definitely.
It's quite yeah, I think it's a evolution kind of thing.
Mm. Yeah, you're definitely ahead of the game from what I could see, in lots of ways with that aspect of the business, but also with the range that you offer in the retail sector direct to the consumer is something I've never seen that in any other barbershop. Like you've got this huge display area with so many different brands, and you can really tailor products to really broad range of people. And I think that part of the service is something that is, could be lacking in other areas of the industry. And I think one thing I noticed what struck me when I've been in and had haircuts and sat in the chair with you is that even just at every workstation, you've got a huge selection of products there that the barber can pick from to match up with the customer and the customer's hair and the cut that they're getting. So yeah, that's really impressive to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty much like candy for the hair. Like, which candy would you like today? And then just choose one, and then bam. Yeah, we still try to bring in like newer products just to like refresh the selection a little bit. But I think right now a lot of products that are coming out are quite homogeneous. It's not much different from like another 10 products that were released before it. So we just listen to what like customers tell us, like, oh, maybe you should try this, take a look. If it seems like it's quite good, then we'll just make a small purchase and like see how it goes.
Okay. What gap do you see there? Any gaps in the product space at the moment? Is there something that you feel like is missing in your set of products, that your go-to products?
Maybe products for like longer hair like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like every a lot of products that I put in, it just makes me want to wash it out straight away. Maybe it's just me. But I think currently the only product that I like to put in my own hair would be like all the sea salt sprays and freestylers, like just that tad bit of texture in the hair.
Sure.
Yeah, anything more just makes it almost impossible to run my hands through.
I think you've got the Modern Pirate styling powder on the way at the moment. See how that one goes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And what about as far as the influence of the business and the what you're doing in there as far in regards to haircuts and styles? Are you kind of all on the same page, the barbers, or does everybody have their own kind of style or techniques that they like to use?
So mainly all of us like to keep like haircuts natural.
Yeah.
So we try not to do like crazy thick hard parts or crazy offset partings, and yeah, just keeping like the haircut growing as naturally as possible.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, all of us know of a lot of techniques, but there are some techniques that we go to more. So yeah, everyone uses a bit of different techniques here and there still, and yeah, like if I get someone else's haircut, like I roughly know who in the shop cut for that person.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think main thing would be the customer service. Like regardless of the technique, I think the interaction is still pretty top notch. I feel. I hope.
Yeah. And how long is how long generally do you allocate for a service?
So it's about half an hour to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of the barbers prefer to do like a longer consultation. It really depends. Like I said, we try to keep it organic and not force them to like cut the service down all to like 30-minute slot.
Yeah, sure. And everything's booking, or do you do walk-ins as well?
So we're pretty much booked up for like week by week kind of thing. But
Yeah.
of course there'll be cancellations here and there. So I think mainly it's still bookings, but sometimes there's still walk-ins coming in.
Sure.
So if they catch us at the right time, they get a slot. But if the timing doesn't match, then the walk-ins and ourselves don't get that slot.
Okay.
Yeah, but mainly still booking.
And what about in regards to just general trends in the industry and changes, whether it's haircut styles or products used. Like, are you guys, where do you feel like the biggest influence comes from? Is it more Europe or is it USA? What do you feel like the general influence for Southeast Asia is? And do you feel like
Uh,
you're ahead of something, or do you feel like you kind of you're following in behind some of the trends that are changing in other areas of the world?
I think okay, for me, I follow more of like the UK stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like Australia and UK is quite similar.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree.
Yeah, US I still follow, but some of the stuff they do is just a bit more uh showy, would I say?
Yeah,
Like they look really really good on Instagram. Like how they use like the the disinfectant and they light up a lighter to like have fire coming out from the nozzle and stuff.
sure. Yeah, it's not an
Yeah, yeah,
everyday look. We're much more, yeah, we downplay things a lot more here. I think we're a lot more, natural in the styles that are created, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's right.
flamboyant in that way.
I just prefer that. But of course, there are some barbers that focus on like really uh, making the hairline a lot darker than it is, like
Yeah.
by manipulating the hairlines and stuff. So I think maybe in like Singapore, the trend is like 50-50.
Yeah, sure. And do you have any industry body? Like, do you have a accredited barber education platform in Singapore that people need to go through, or is it like through salons and then people move into the barber space and then are trained in house depending on where they are?
I think most people that go to like a salon school, for example, they probably wouldn't want to go to barbering because without the chemical services, like the money that you earn can't really jump much.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, there are a couple of barber schools in Singapore, but like not an official one. So meaning to say, you could literally fly over from Melbourne to Singapore now, set up a shop, and call yourself a barber and be cutting hair.
Wow.
There's no um, it's not that regulated yet.
Yeah, okay.
But maybe after this COVID situation, I think the only thing more regulated would be the cleanliness aspect to it, not so much of the tools handling aspect or the skill set per se.
Sure. And have you noticed, obviously, I read some statistics a couple of days ago that everywhere, obviously, the economies are being impacted in a big way by what's happened with COVID. Are you expecting that there's going to be closures of barbershops? Is the industry going to tighten up a little bit? Or do you feel like it will ride through and remain strong?
So like yesterday, one of my friends from another barbershop visited me. His shop is a three-seater shop, so when they set up the shop, it's a bit squeezier. So I think what's happening with like the smaller spaces right now is that they have to remove about 30% to 50% of the chairs they have
Mm,
due to like the distance between each chair being less than a meter. So meaning to say, like his maximum sales he could get for that week would be at least 30% less, for sure.
so challenging.
Challenging for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people are not buying hairstyling products that much
Mm.
because most people are still in a work at home situation right now. That's why we are trying to educate the people who are staying home more now about skincare and stuff, because I think some of them are taking more showers than they should.
Yeah, yeah,
Like with products that have a lot of chemicals.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
and another change I think would be like the mask. I think we pretty much got to uh keep it on for, I don't know, like in my head I think like it's for the next decade kind of thing. Like how
Yeah,
dentists and doctors and nurses would keep their masks on. I think it's gonna be the same for like the hairstyling industry. But whether or not they, like the government here decides to shut more down, I'm not yeah. I mean I have no control of that. I
no,
hope not, but
yeah. It's hard to know
yeah,
what
shouldn't be.
regulations will be coming through with the industry, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure you guys will adapt and um, remain strong through it. I've got no doubt.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Yeah. Hey, and just on a personal level, you in the last couple of years, you've made some big changes in your life. You have really dived deep into fitness and health and wellness. And what sparked that? And can you tell me a little bit about why you sort of made those changes?
Okay, so I think I started like taking more, like giving more attention to my body maybe about 2017. So uh yeah, basically I was ballooning, just not that healthy, wasn't sleeping well, wasn't eating well. I wasn't even working out at all. Pretty much felt breathless most of the time when I'm like walking up the stairs,
Yeah, okay.
because our shop is our shop is on the second floor. So that flight of stairs made me exhausted. Yeah, and I think it's during the same time, like yourself and Miguel, they were like, you guys were moving into a bit of yoga, a bit of meditation, just uh, giving more attention to the body, taking care of the body. So that also inspired me to make a change. Yeah, your transformation progress is also really amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so uh, I started reading up more on like what is good for the body. I mean, it's quite generic everywhere. Like just eat well, sleep well, uh, and then just exercise. Pretty much do what the body needs.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, what's cool with you is you've done it the right way. There's a lot of people that I find go down this path of becoming fit, but they don't become healthy. And the way you've done it, and the way you're exercising, and the way you're living is it's you've combined things really well. And I just see a huge change in you, just mentally and with your happiness levels, and it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So the calisthenics side of things, I think, is really cool because you're moving your body in a functional way, and I feel like it's really rewarding as well because you're just constantly getting these little wins, and you feel the progression, and it's exciting, and it just keeps you really motivated as well. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm really enjoying the journey, watching what's happening in the evolution. Very cool.
yeah, and it looks cool also. I think generally I like all acrobatic looking movements.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
We
sure.
should we should do the rock climbing one day.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely up for that. I've mentioned to you, I've tried it a few times, and yeah, it's something I definitely want to get into a bit more. I've got a really cool rock climbing indoor gym just close to my house, which I'm hoping, once the lockdown sort of breaks, that we can get back in there and have some fun as well.
Yeah, definitely. And apart from that, I think like the people surrounding you, they make a lot of difference also. Like if you're always surrounded by sad people, I think you feel sad also. It
Yeah,
just happens that most of my friends, they are all quite cheery. We spout the same kind of nonsense that make each other laugh. So that's good.
that's good. Yeah, yeah, and it's great to be around people, especially with the fitness stuff and the calisthenics, to be around people that are better than you. So you feel like you've got
Yeah,
this drive and this inspiration to sort of push and learn and grow from that in the same way you do in other parts of your life, whether it's in business
yeah, that's right.
or
You have
things.
to always surround yourself with people better than you are.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see. Hey, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your day off. But just for the listeners, where can people find you? And what's the best place? Obviously, the Panic Room. Is it thepanicroom.com.sg?
Yeah, that's our website.
Yeah,
And the Instagram account would be the panic room _SG.
yeah.
And
And what's your
mine I'm a bit ashamed to spell it out, but I will. So mine is at Muffin Liu Liu. It's MUFFYNLIU. There's not too much barbering stuff happening, but just a lot of nonsensical posts.
No, it's cool. You've got a great personal Instagram. It's inspiring, all your calisthenics stuff that you're learning and doing, and yeah, you're killing it. It's great.
Thank you for being kind. I think you are actually better than me now.
No, not at all. All right, Mervyn, really good to talk to you, mate. When these lockdowns end, I'd love to get over and have another visit and spend some time in Singapore doing some stuff with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. When flights can resume again
Yes.
without the quarantine, hopefully.
Hopefully not too far away.
Yeah.
All right, take care and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks for listening to the Modern Pirate Podcast. If you like what you heard, please head over to iTunes now to subscribe to the show and leave us a rating and review. Want to talk more about this episode, suggest a guest, or offer feedback, please head to our Instagram page, modern_pirate, or swing by the website to sign up for our semi-weekly newsletter at modernpirate.com.au. Thanks again and stay salty.